Okay. Hello, and thank you for clicking play on this embedded YouTube video, because I know you didn't click on it in your subscription feed. So if you weren't aware, I have a Twitter where I review music, review albums. It's called Aesthetic Cave if you want to follow it. It's just a place for me to share short form opinions on albums that I like to keep up to date with as the year goes along. And it's time for lists, and this year I've actually compiled a list of my favorite songs, which is something that I'm not usually very good at keeping up with. Usually I don't follow singles and tracks and stuff like that. I usually wait for the album to listen to it. But I think I did a pretty good job of compiling my favorite songs from this year. Most of them are singles, but some of them are just my favorite tracks from the albums that I liked, just so I could get a nice sort of variance. So without further ado, these are my top 50 songs of 2018. If you use Apple Music, I put all these 50 songs in a playlist in order, and the link is in the description if you want to listen to it. Thank you so much. Maybe I'll make one for Spotify too. 50 is the new opening track from the Dirty Projectors' new album, and the track's titled Right Now, featuring Sid. Kyary Pamyu Pamyu with Kimi no Mikata. Marie Davidson with Work It. The Internet with Roll Burbank Funk, the best track off of their new album. And 46 is Gorilla Toss with Meteorological. 45 is Karen Meat with You're an Ugly Person. And 44 is Robin with Honey. 43 is the epic tech house piece Neon Pattern Drum from John Hopkins. And 42 is Charcoal Baby from Blood Orange. 41 is the lead single from Joji's debut album, Slow Dancing in the Dark. And number 40 is Of Montreal with Paranoid Intervals / Body Dysmorphia. And 39 is, of course, the psychedelic trap anthem Travis Scott's Stargazing. Number 38 is one of the weirdest tracks from Arctic Monkeys, Star Treatment. And number 37 is Sufjan Stevens with Lonely Man of Winter. After that is Unknown Mortal Orchestra's Honeybee. And then after that is Ghost's Dance Macabre, a extremely cheesy track that I couldn't escape nonetheless. 34 is one of Aphex Twin's best tracks in a while, T69 Collapse. And then after that is Against All Logic with Some Kind of Game. And 32, if Donkey Kong ever had a punk song dedicated to him, it would definitely be The Garden's Banana Peel. And then number 31 is JPEG Mafia with Baby I'm Bleeding. Number 30 is one of the best house tracks of the year, Peggy Goo's It Makes You Forget Itgehane. And number 29 is Conan Moccasin with the excellent soft rock track Con Wasn't Patient. 28 is Puma Blue with Moon Underwater. And 27 is a track that I cannot deny that I love, Post Malone with Stay. 26 is the amazing local band Luna Luna with Fro. And then 25 is Troye Sivan with My. 24 is a track that impressed me very early on this year, James Blake with If the Car Beside You Moves Ahead. And then 23 is Anderson .Paak with Tints, featuring Kendrick Lamar off of his fantastic new record, Oxnard. Number 22 is probably the only track I will ever care about from John Mayer, New Light. And number 21 is Beach House's single, Lemon Glow. Number 20 is one of the best songs off of Earl Sweatshirt's new album, Nowhere to Go. And number 19 is Cara Cara Bonito with Only Acting. Number 18 is one of the most hilarious and pertinent rap tracks of the year, Jean Grey and Quelle Chris's My Contribution to This Scam. And number 17 is my favorite track from the new Death Grips album, Year the Snitch. The track is called Shit Show. Number 16 is a track on the Breakout album from Yves Tumor, Noid. And number 15 is one of Trix Point Never's Black Snow. Number 14 is from an album from a band that I didn't really care that much about until this album came out this year. It's a fantastic, very experimental and noisy, but also very brooding and moody record from Low, and my favorite track off of it is Tempest, a truly crushing, really noisy slowcore ballad. And number 13 is from a single that just came out, I think last month, from an album that's going to come out in February, Dolphin from Panda Bear. It's a fantastic track. One of the most raw vocal performances, or most upfront vocal performances from Panda Bear that we've seen yet, and I think it really lends itself to the very watery, tropical production. Really enjoyed this track a lot. 12 is the track Cradle from Adrian Lenker, a perfect moment on an album of perfect moments. This is just one of the most touching acoustic songs that I've heard this year, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with me on that one. Number 11 is a banger. Banger Alert 1999 from Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan. I noticed that Troye Sivan's the only guy who shows up on here twice. Didn't mean for that to occur, but I mean, they're both great. So. Number 10 was the lead single from this band's newest record, Almost Had to Start a Fight, and In and Out of Patience by Parquet Courts, and a fantastic transformation for the New York-based band. Fantastic punk, classic punk throwback, I think, with some very sharp lyrics. Number 9 is a track from the most unstoppable force in pop music this year, Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. This track is undeniable in its scope, its catchiness, and its lyrical substance, truly something that no one was able to get away from in terms of drama and press. It's just, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how, like, elegantly Ariana Grande handled this situation. It's really fantastic, and it all culminated with this amazing single. Number 8 is a positively goofy track, but it's still very psychedelic, well produced, and just a very fun track despite how like odd and like a really strange mix of influences that pours into this track. But the lead single from the new album from The Voids, Curious, is just undeniable. Undressing this. Number 7 is one of the most experimental and jarring exercises in pop production this decade, and it all culminates in my favorite track from this record, Sophie with Face Shopping. This producer really hit it out of the park this year and had a smash just year for music. This album was fantastic, and this song really just leaped out at me. It's like so hard for me to deny how incredibly produced this track is. It's hyper real, it's very sound rich, but also very pristine and glistening sounding. It's just really a sight to behold, or an oral sight to behold. It's not something, you get it. Number 6 is a touching synth pop track about friendship and being as solid as they come. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. MGMT with Me and Michael. Yeah. Number 5 probably had the best music video of the year, the most buzzed about music video of the year. Certainly there was a lot of subtext in the lyrics and the visuals of this track, and it's just one of the best songs from this artist who I have not loved everything from, but really, I mean, it's hard to deny how well put This Is America is from Childish Gambino. It's really fantastic track. Number 4 is a single from an artist who refuses to put out an album. He only insists on putting out one song at a time through his YouTube channel, and this one I still think is the best one they put out this year. Bill Wurtz with La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-oh. I really still can't figure out how to put a label on like what his genre is. It's like jazz pop. Like, it's very clearly poppy, but there's a lot of music theory going in and a lot of like interesting chord progressions in his work, and just like he really can craft something that is instantly catchy no matter what like he decides the lyrics are or anything like that, because the lyrics are nonsense, but I think he is aware of that and he uses it as kind of a tool for making the song even catchier by just like creating a word salad of pop lyrical tropes and just fusing them together, and just really a masterpiece of a really fun pop track. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-day-oh is a fantastic track from Bill Wurtz. Number 3 is the opening track from one of the best albums of the year. Everyone agrees with me on this. Everyone who's watching, this was a fantastic record, and it really changed my mind about this artist. Before, I really didn't think that much of them, but with this album, it really just cemented in my head how unique and powerful of a songwriter this artist is, and I still think the opening track to this album is the best thing that she's done so far. It's such a intense climax of a lovesick kind of power ballad. It's Mitski with Geyser. Certainly Nobody's a fantastic track, and still really fun to just whine at the top of your lungs. Clearly that's what she was intending with that chorus, but I still think Geyser is just so much more powerful and just towering with its refrain, and just the performance on it, from the synths and the strings to the vocals. It's just it's just so electric to me. So it's one of my favorite tracks that I've heard this year, and I've put it on just by itself so many times, and it's such a great, powerful intro to this fantastic record. Number 2 is a pop track that's a little bit unorthodox, but still one of my favorite outings of this group. They had their best album come out this year. I think it's still so great, and the single from this is just, it's a little bit lo-fi. It's got a lot of different influences coming from the worlds of gospel, R&B, a little bit of blues, pop, maybe a little bit of like post-punk in there. It's just, and some rap too, of course. It's Young Fathers with In My View. Just a excellent chorus, just so undeniable, and something that I played endlessly throughout this year. It's just fantastic. I'm now realizing that it's kind of hard to talk about songs as in-depth as I would with albums, so that's probably why this video is a lot shorter. But I'm still glad I was able to put together this list, because songs are just, like, it's really good that I was able to pinpoint my 50 favorite songs from this year, and I was able to give light and mention some artists that didn't make it onto my album list, because there were some songs that on albums that, while the album didn't blow me away, some of the tracks were just fantastic, and I could not help but mention them in a video. So number 1, though, is from an album that I did love. It's one of my favorites of the year still, and it's just it's one of the best songs to hit the mainstream in a long time, and as well as the album itself is just fantastic. It's just a really sensual, sexy track with fantastic, clean, kind of soulful production that has a bit of a modern take on it. I love the sampling of mouth sounds in it, as well as the keyboards and the guitars. It's all so well performed and so electrifying and just magnetic of a track. It's Janelle Monáe with Make Me Feel. This is my favorite song of the year, and I don't think I wouldn't feel comfortable giving it to anyone else, because Janelle Monáe really just like outdid herself, like with an album that is truly fireworks from front to back. And I've loved her stuff up until this point, but it really wasn't until Make Me Feel that like her vision really revealed itself to me in full color on this record and with this song. And the music video is fantastic, and it's just like, as far as pop songs go, pop songs in the mainstream, whenever someone asks me like what have I been enjoying that I've heard like from the general public, I really want to show this song to everyone, because it's just so, I don't really know what I'm saying. I don't know if that last sentence made sense, but Make Me Feel is a fantastic track. It's a bit of an homage to Prince, of course. It sounds a lot like Prince's Kiss, but honestly, I think this is a much better track. It's much more succinct in its vision and its structure, and it's just so excellent with every single part of it that's been executed. It's just a fantastic track. It makes me want to listen to it right now. I probably am going to cue it up right after this video. But anyway, those are my top 50 songs of the year. I'm going to make an albums video, which I'm even more excited about, because there were so many great records from this year. It was a very interesting year for music. I'll probably go more into that during my albums video. But anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to follow the review Twitter if you're interested in my thoughts on this kind of stuff. And yeah, happy holidays. I don't know.